The Denver Nuggets are starting to hit another gear. The defending champs are 5-0 since the All-Star break as they try to get the number one seed in the West. They're coming off a 103-97 win over the Miami Heat in what was an NBA Finals rematch from last season. This game came down to the wire as the Nuggets were coming off the second night of a back-to-back and the Heat were without Tyler Hero. But this was a hard-fought battle that came down to the very end. The Nuggets ultimately won the physical battle that played out, and it was their defense that tightened up down the stretch. Michael Porter Jr. led the way with 30 points on 12 of 23 from the field, scoring 12 of his points in the third quarter to help the Nuggets gain some separation. Unfortunately for the Nuggets, Jamal Murray suffered an ankle injury near the end of the first half. Jokic had a relatively down game, shooting 6 of 15 from the field, and struggled to get shots and passes off against a very stout Miami Heat defense. However, Jokic was still clutch and pushed through when it mattered. The Nuggets found a way to win against a very good Miami Heat team, and that's what good teams do. The Nuggets are rolling right now, and it was encouraging to see their defense step up the way that they did. Everybody stepped up defensively, especially with their lethal offensive weapon of Jamal Murray going down. Before we continue, guys, do me a solid, hit that like button and also smash that subscribe button down below for more Nuggets content just like this. When you look at the Denver Nuggets, they are still the team to beat in the Western Conference. The Nuggets have the best player in the world, and they have a lethal starting five. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. When you look at Nikola Jokic, he has really separated himself as the best player in the league. And Jokic is starting to turn on his playoff mode, as he has been playing some very, very great basketball as of late. And it helps when he is surrounded by the most complimentary starting lineup in the NBA. The Nuggets are looking to be the first back-to-back champions in the NBA since the Kevin Durant Golden State Warriors. Jamal Murray is a great number two running mate, and he's got just an absolute lethal offensive bag, and the Nuggets are going to need him healthy for the playoffs. You look at Aaron Gordon, he's a Swiss Army knife, and he can guard anybody on defense, and he's a bully on offense. Michael Porter Jr., he is a guy who can catch fire, just an absolute sharpshooter, as we saw against the Miami Heat. And then you look at KCP, he's one of the better 3-and-D players in the league. So when you look at this Nuggets starting five, they're just as complete as any starting five in the NBA, and they're arguably the best starting five when this team is clicking. The players on this team, they complement each other so well. Their offense can get it done in clutch moments, as we've seen, and then they have the number one ranked clutch defense that absolutely puts the clamps on their opponent when they need to. No team is better down the stretch in a game than the Denver Nuggets. It's hard to close this team out in the fourth quarter, and you look at what makes them so great. It's their ability to come up with key stops and get key buckets when they need to, especially when Nikola Jokic is locked in. And we saw it in that game against the Miami Heat. Nikola Jokic, despite having a poor offensive shooting game, he was still able to come away with some clutch buckets when it looked like Miami was maybe going to steal that victory in Denver. Now, before we continue on with this video, I want to talk to you guys about today's video sponsor, BetUS.
BetUS, America's favorite sportsbook and casino. Live betting and racebook. We're celebrating 30 years with a historic offer. A 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Plus 10% gambler's insurance. Get started today. BetUS, where the game begins.
BetUS will give you an 125% bonus, not only on your first deposit, but on your first 3 deposits up to $2,500 with the promo code JOIN125. Plus, they'll give you 10% gambler's insurance for your net losses if you're active every 6 months. If you look at the BetUS website, you can bet on the NBA, you can parlay together some games, or take a team to win straight up, or you can even put some money on the Denver Nuggets to win it all. They currently have the second best odds to win it all, just behind the Boston Celtics. If you put 25 bucks on that, boom. Or even if you want, you could put some more, because the Denver Nuggets are going to be one of the teams that you have to look out for down the stretch, as they do look to make it back-to-back championships. So get in on the action, click the link down below. Thank you to BetUS for sponsoring today's video. I think when you look at the Denver Nuggets' chances down the stretch here, they're going to get that number one seed, and the recent play is showing it. I mean, they know how important that number one seed is, as they won it all from that spot last season, and I think they are going to get it because they are the best team out of this bunch trying to go for that number one seed, and they have the best player in the world in Nikola Jokic. And while they are currently in third, 1.5 game deficit it's not that hard to make up in 6 weeks, especially considering the fact that the Nuggets have 3 games remaining against the Timberwolves. So they're going to have head-to-head opportunities to take care of business against a team that's ahead of them right now in the standings. The Nuggets, they have been perfect since the All-Star break, and they have an average margin of victory of 15.6 points. And Jokic, I mean, he has been absolutely fantastic. He's been on a historic run that has seen him record a triple-double in 4 of those games since the break. And speaking of Jokic, he is once again atop of the MVP ladder right now, as he's averaging 25.8 points, 12.3 rebounds, and 9.3 assists per game. And you look at Jokic, he had 4 straight triple-doubles that propelled the Nuggets to 4 straight victories before their Thursday night win over the Miami Heat. And Jokic recently joined Russell Westbrook as the only player since 1997-98 to post a triple-double before the fourth quarter in at least 4 consecutive games. So Jokic is leading Denver's push right now to reclaim the Western Conference. Nikola Jokic, do not be surprised if he wins yet another MVP when this season is all but over. And don't be surprised if the Denver Nuggets are once again the number 1 seed going into the playoffs. And I think home court is going to be super, super important, especially this year, because there are so many good teams in the Western Conference and there's little separation between these teams. So it could come down to whoever has home court advantage in a best-of-7 playoff series. But you look at the Denver Nuggets, they're starting to get it together, they're rolling, and this team, they got their eyes on the prize. I mean, this is still a team you do not want to bet against come playoff time. They are so tough to beat, so tough to put away, and even when you give it your best shot and you're making shots and you're coming back against this team, they got so many weapons that could just put a dagger in your heart, from, Michael Porter Jr. hitting a big shot, to Jamal Murray closing out a game, to Jokic getting a clutch basket, to their defense getting a stop. This team, they are as complete, and they have not missed a beat as of late here. So they're going to look to keep it going. They got the Lakers on Saturday night. They have dominated the Lakers in recent play. So the Denver Nuggets, guys, do not forget about this team, because they are still the defending champs, and they are the champs until somebody goes out and knocks them out. Denver, they were kind of overlooked a lot last season, and they went on to win the championship. And this season, I feel like not a lot of people are talking about them, but again, they are still the team to beat, especially when you look at the battle right now that is going on in the Western Conference. So the Denver Nuggets, they've been playing pretty basketball, and they are hitting their stride at the right time. Let me know your thoughts about the Nuggets. Let me know if you think this team has what it takes to repeat, which is extremely hard to do in today's NBA. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. That is it for me. It's Lucas signing off. I will catch you all again in the next video.